Hello folks, hope you're well. So today I went down to town because it was supposed to be, because it normally is, on the third Saturday of the month. It is normally the marketplace, and so therefore I expected the River Church to be there. Well, there wasn't any marketplace today, but the church in the middle of the high street, there was cars parked in there. And the door was open, so I went in there to see what's happening, and there was people sitting down in the middle of the area. So I said, "Oh, can I join?" They said, "Yes." And they were meeting. They had a small meeting. There's about 8 people. Or actually, about 8 people, including me. 8 probably. Yes, 9. I think. Yeah, including me. Yeah. Anyway. What they were doing when I went in, they were writing down things, nice things, about the person next to them. So they could say 3 nice things about the person next to them. Okay. Nice idea, I suppose, but yeah. Okay. Would it really help people? No. But okay, it was what it was. Then they invited me for a bit of food, so yeah, because they had food in there. Okay, so I said, okay, I'll join you for that, yes. And I was talking to a few of them. The woman I was talking to most of the time, who was in front of me when I was sitting down with the food, and who was next to me when I was sitting, when they were doing the things, saying nice things to each other. I was talking to her. I asked her the question, if you could ask God for something, what would you ask? She said, I would ask for peace. I said, okay. I said, okay, ask him to teach you how to have that peace. Because he can actually teach you how to have that peace. And then she did exactly what most people in church would do. I think basically the devil said to her, oh, he thinks he knows more than you. So tell him what you know about God. Most people do that. When you're talking to someone about God, they think they are the same level as you, and they want to prove that. That's the devil doing that. Because if you met someone who knows more than you, and that person can lift you up, you won't listen to that person, will you? If you think you have to prove you are in the same level, and you know the same sort of things as that person does, then you're going to miss it. You're going to miss it every time. Yeah. For me, it's so blinking sad. But I've seen it so many times. In every church, most people do that. So therefore, you can't lift those people up at all. If you can help them to know more, you can't. They won't let you. No. They won't let you help them to know more, because they have to prove they know the same level as you. Yeah. It is what it is. Yeah. I've seen it all the time for the last 30 years. Yeah. That's how people are. And I know it's a devil on their shoulder telling them to do it. So, yeah. What's the reason? No idea. It doesn't matter what the reason is. Not at all. Yeah, it doesn't matter at all, because, yeah, it's up to people, isn't it really, to choose what they want to do. And if the devil tells them to do that, they have to choose to say yes or no for that. And most of the time they say yes for that. Because he knows exactly what to say to make people do that. The devil does, yeah. But it was quite interesting, actually. There was a man there, and yeah, I asked him the question, where are you from? He said, Kent. I said, okay. Which area from Kent? He said, Chatham. Oh. I said, oh, I was living there. I was born in that town. He says, oh. He said he was born at Maidstone in Kent. I said, when? He said 2004. I said, oh. I was in that town, living there at that time. And I left that town in that year. I said, what'd you do? He says, well, I'm learning to cook, and it's the army place. I cook for them. I said, oh. I said, okay, 2004, I was ordering the food for the cooks in an army place at that time. I wasn't cooking, I was ordering the food for those people to cook. And we were talking about the area, Chatham, and yeah. The King Church as well. I said, do you know that church? He said, oh yeah, I know where that is, yeah. I said, yeah, I used to go there years ago. Yeah. It was quite interesting. Yeah, again, meeting someone from, well, he was living in the area that I was born in, and I was living in the area that he was born in. So therefore, Yeah. And I left that area when he was born. So, yeah. Interesting. Yeah. So, yeah. Well, the woman I was talking to, she lost her husband in COVID time. She didn't tell me. Her daughter told that man I was talking to that during COVID it was really hard for her because she couldn't go to school and do the things she liked, and also she lost her father. So yeah, that's not good. No. But it is exactly what it is. Yeah. So therefore, yeah, it wasn't too bad. I say the people in that church, yeah. Obviously, I don't know the people, not really. They were lovely people, I suppose. But they need to be taught how to walk in God's way. And they need to learn that when they meet someone, that person talk, because maybe that person could actually lift you up. If that person can lift you up, or maybe that person will say something that means you can actually lift that person up. But if you don't listen, you can't. If you want to prove that you know as much as that person does, nah, that won't work. That will never work at all. And again, I'm not judging those people because, when I was younger, would I have done the same? Probably. Probably, yeah. Although for me, I don't know. I wanted to learn. I wanted to learn more all the time when I was young, so therefore, would I listen? No idea. If someone said to me when I was young, God can teach you how to have peace, I would ask the question, how do you know? How do you know God can teach me how to have peace? Has he taught you? If the person says yes, okay, what happened in your life that God needed to help you to have peace? What was happening? Because obviously there were things happening, so therefore, yeah. Indeed, that's the point. So, but, yeah. If you've been taught how to walk, then when someone says something, ask more questions. Always ask more questions. Because maybe that person is talking crap. Maybe that person said something truth, but they didn't know really what they were talking about. So therefore, maybe you can help them. Or maybe that person can help you. Well, what is that situation? You don't know, do you? No. So you have to learn how to walk. So therefore, for those people, I hope that someone can actually help them. Enjoy. I will speak to you later. Bye bye.